This is the Lion Online Radio TV. Good day and welcome to our news update. Here we bring you a combination of major stories from around the world and important developments from Western Nigeria. Stay tuned as we keep you updated. Here are the news. Iran war-live drone attacks spark fire near Dubai airport and Fujairah. In details, authorities in the UAE drone-related incidents sparked fires near Dubai airport, while another drone attack has also been reported at Fujairah industrial area. US and Israeli forces have continued to bombard Iran, hitting cities including Tehran, Hamadan, and Isfahan as Iranians counter-attack continue with damage reported in several Israeli cities. President Donald Trump said NATO faces a very bad future if US allies fail to help open the Strait of Hormuz, the critical oil transport conduit effectively shut by Iran in the war. Israel launches new waves of attack on southern Lebanon as it amasses tanks and force on the border. The death toll in Lebanon has risen to 850, including more than 100 children. Former Israeli army officers urges diplomacy to avoid military quagmire in Lebanon. In details, Yagolan, the leader of the central-left Democrats and former deputy chief of the Israeli army, says the Israeli government should not be allowed to lead the country into an endless war in Lebanon as it is in those in Ghana. I know Lebanon. I was the commander of the Northern Commander. I spent most of my professional year as a fighter and commander there, he said on X. And I say clearly, we must exhaust every diplomatic option in the fullest before sending division into the Lebanese quagmire. Fire at Indian hospital intensive care unit kills 10 people. In details, at least 10 people have been killed in a fire that broke out in the trauma care unit of the hospital in the western Indian state of Odisha, officials says. The fire, which started early on Monday on the first floor of the SCB Medicine College and Hospital in the city of Kotak, was likely caused by a short circuit, Odisha Chief Minister Mohbad Group told reporters after visiting the hospital. At least 11 staff members survived burn as they tried to save patients. Medical staff and security personnel risked their life in securing and rescuing the patients. Mahi said during this, they too also sustained injury and they too are under treatment. The chief minister added that he has ordered a judiciary inquiry requires into the incident and said strict action would be taken against anyone found responsible. 23 patients has been receiving medical care in the intensive care unit and 10 of them died while being shifted to a safer area away from the fire. 5 people were critically wounded, but it was not clear if it was from the fire or earlier injuries. Prime Minister Narendra Modi called the incident deeply painful in a post on social media and offered his condolences to the families of the victims. He also announced compensation of $2,160 to affected families. Building fires are common in India due to lack of firefighting equipment and a routine disregard for safety regulations. Electrical short circuits, often caused by poorly maintained wiring, remaining the leading cause of fire. Former Lebanese president back in direct talks with Israel. In details, Lebanon former President Michael Suleiman has voiced support for an initiative to hold direct negotiation with Israel, saying Beirut should not remain alone in bearing the burden of the conflict. In a remark posted from Baghdad Palace on the Lebanese presidency X account, Suleiman said he supported the move toward direct talk, noting that countries in the region such as Egypt, Jordan, and Syria has already negotiated with Israel. He said direct negotiation could be more effective than the indirect talks that have continued to decades and have been repeatedly disrupted by wars launched without the Lebanese state consent. Sulaiman added that such action fits within the framework of international agreements, including UN Security Council Resolution 107 and the Tawfiq Agreement, which called for the Lebanon state to maintain a monopoly over the use of forces. It comes after Lebanese PM Salam said earlier this month that Hezbollah military and security activities were banned. Asian countries' biggest loser in oil and gas shipments derailments. In details, the biggest loser when it comes to oil and gas distribution disruptions are all the Asian countries, especially those who heavily rely on the Middle Eastern group but has relatively low inventory, such as southern countries like Thailand and Vietnam. Mo Zhu, a senior crude oil analyst at Keller, has told Algeria. Zhou noted that Southern Korea and Japan plan to release their oil stock, but that would be enough if the war dragged for more than a month. Even for China, now they hold 1.3 billion barrels of onshore crude inventories, but still, they need something to be able to fill in the gap immediately. And right now, they don't have really a candidate, Zhu noted. Diving into the western Nigeria, return of sanitation exercise show responsible governance, Lagos APC to Sanwo-Olu. In details, the All Progressive Congress APC in Lagos State has commended the state government for reintroducing the monthly environmental sanitation exercise across the state, describing the move as a sign of responsible and responsive governance. A statement issued by the Lagos APC spokesman Sheye Oladejo said the decision reflects the government's commitment to protecting public health, improving environmental cleanliness, and encouraging residents to take part in maintaining a sustainable and livable city. The party noted that Lagos, regarded as one of Africa's fastest-growing megacities, requires collective efforts from both the government and residents to ensure environmental sustainability. I am of the state government to maintain high standard of environmental management while motivating residents to take responsibility for the cleanliness and their community. The party also highlighted the historical importance of the sanitation exercise, noting that it once played a significant role in promoting a culture of cleanliness and civic responsibility among residents. It added that the program would help address sanitation challenges while raising public awareness for proper waste disposal, drainage maintenance, and general environmental hygiene. The Lagos APC further described initiative as a strategic step towards strengthening preventing public health measures, reducing environmental risks, and addressing sanitation-related concerns across community. Across the Lagos APC further described, the party called on residents, community development and association, market group, youth organization, and civil society group to support the initiative through active participation. Police arrest one over murder allegations in Oyo State. In details, the Oyo State Police Command on Monday arrested one Jiwa Sadiq in connection with a criminal altercation that leads to the death of Kehinde, also known as Ogo Ojigbo, in Asalu community, Lalukon in Lagelu local government area of the state. A statement released by the state police public relations officer Olayinka Ayalade in Ibadan, the state capital, said the corpse of the deceased has been deposited at Ajoye State Hospital Morgue, Ring Road, Ibadan, for preservation and autopsy. He explained that a preliminary investigation revealed that community authorities reported to the Iyanofa division that while sleeping, they were alerted by community security guards to a confrontation involving a group of youth within the community. Ayala said the injured individual were immediately rushed to Ojoluwa Hospital, Iyanofa, for medical attention, where one of the victims, identified as Kehinde, also known as Ogojigbo, later succumbed to his injuries. Upon receipt of the report, a team of police operatives led by Divisional Police Officer Supo Iyanofa promptly proceeded to the scene and the hospital. Photographs were taken for documentation purposes, and one suspect, Jiwa Sadiq, was arrested in connection with the incident. Mohbad Group petitions police over alleged cyberbullying. The Coalition of Justice Advocates has called on the Nigerian police force to investigate alleged cyberbullying targeting members of the Justice Campaign following the death of Nigerian artist Ilerioluwa Aloba, popularly known as Mohbad. The coalitions, in the partnership with Oloriebi Platform Worldwide, made the call on Friday in Lagos during a press briefing. While they condemn what they describe as acts of defamation and unlawful processing of personal data allegedly carried out by a Germany-based TikToker popularly known as Comfy. The group said their members has been actively campaigning for justice for the late singer when the alleged online harassment began. Speaking on behalf of the coalition, Mr. Kayode Adebiyi said the campaigner has acted within the law while providing financial, moral, and social support to sustain public interest in the case. We are a group fighting for justice for Mohbad. Recognize the responsibility we all share, institutions, professionals, and citizens alike, to ensure that justice is not only done but seen to be done, Adebiyi said. He alleged that the TikToker, who resides in Dusseldorf, Germany, has used several monetized social media accounts to harass and intimidate members of the coalitions. There are several social media handles allegedly used by these women to bully our members by cropping their images into coffee and writing RIP on their pictures. Our grievance arises from a disturbing pattern of online conduct targeting advocates for justice and their families, including minors, he said. Adebiyi further alleged that the action has caused reputation and emotional distress to members of the coalition. This started in September 2023 after Mohbad's death. She has gone so far as to allege assassination plots without evidence and has circulated photographs of our members and their children without consent. Her actions have exposed our members to threats and created an environment of intimidation, he said. He urged the Force Criminal Investigation Department to open a formal investigation and collaborate with international authorities. We urge the FCID to open a formal investigation, preserve digital evidence, and collaborate with Interpol, Germany authorities, and data protection regulation to bring this woman to order, Adebiyi said. The legal representative of the group, Mr. Emmanuel Oroko, said a petition has already been submitted to the Office of the Inspector General of Police. That brings us to the end of our news update. I am Oluwatoyin Ilebute. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more at Alayo Online Radio TV. Thank you for watching.